All right, for this one, these are the last four on the review. We are going to solve using our quadratic formula. All right, which is, remember, negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Now that you'll never forget that song. So one thing I will say is, remember, just a real quick reminder, remember these are a, b, and c. A is in front of x squared, b is in front of the x, c is all alone. But this one, everything can be divided by 2. I'm going to notice that real quick. So I'm going to make life real simple on myself real quick. X squared divided by 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1. So I got x squared plus 32 divided by 2 is 16. And 20 divided by 2, so that's negative 10 equals 0. So the ABC values I'm going to use are actually 1, positive 16, and negative 10. So first things first, fill in your equation. So negative b plus or minus square root of b squared. So we've got negative 16 plus or minus the square root of b squared. Now again, a lot of times I just like to go ahead and square this. But if you want to write 16 squared, that's fine. So I'm going to go ahead and write 169 so I don't mess up my computer, minus 4 times a, which is 1, times c, which is negative 10. Go ahead and extend that out. Divided by 2a, which 2 times 1, which if you don't want to write the times 1 because it's just 2, I get it. That's just what it is. And from here, remember we reduce the radical. So we're going to reduce the part underneath there. Okay, and then we'll go from there. All right, I'm going to go back and make a little bit of an error, a little bit of a change. 16 squared is not 169, that's 13 squared. 16 squared is actually 256. Again, this is why you don't do math in pen. But it's 256 plus 40, so it's 296. So we've got negative 16. Negative 16, that is a 16, believe it or not, plus or minus the square root of 296 divided by 2. And from here, we're going to reduce that radical, 296. So if I just do a little chicken scratch real quick, and you start 296 divided by, I would start with 169. That doesn't work. Divide it by 144. That doesn't work. Divide it by 121. That doesn't work. Divide it by, well, 100's not going to work. And then you just keep on going until you get down to 4. This one goes all the way down, a bit of a pain in the butt. You'll realize that 296 is 4 times 74. So that's 2 on the square root of 4. 74. Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and rewrite this as negative 16 plus or minus 2 on the square root of 74 divided by 2. Right. The last thing I can do is remember, if all three of these coefficients can be divided by something, go ahead and do it. They can all be divided by 2. So 16 divided by 2 is 8, so negative 8. Plus or minus 2 divided by 2 is 1, so it's just square root of 74 divided by 2 times 2 is 1, which, oh yeah, since the bottom is 1, we don't have to write it. So that is your reduced answer. Okay? Again, if you want to pause and try the next one, go for it. But I'm going to push ahead. Alright, so I'm going to burn through these real quick. Again, A, B, C, so negative B plus or minus. So negative b, that's negative 3, so it becomes a positive 3. So 3 plus or minus the square root of negative 3 squared is positive 9. So 9 minus 4 times 2 times negative 20. All over 2 times a, which is 2 times 2, which is 4. Again, I'm skipping a few steps. I'm not writing everything down. Just kind of plugging through it. All right, so we got 3 plus or minus And then I'm going to plug everything underneath this radical into the calculator and see what I get. And I get 169. Oop, wrong color. I get 169 divided by 4. And if you recall, 169 is a perfect square, so this equals 3 plus or minus 13 divided by 4. So since I've got all integers, there's no radicals left, I'm going to solve it twice. All right, once with a positive and once with a negative. So 3 plus 13 is 16 divided by 4, which is 4. So that's one of my answers. Then do it again with the minus. 3 minus 13 is negative 10 divided by 4. And that reduces down to negative 5 halves. And those are your two answers. Right. 15 and 16 are exactly the same way. Give me just a second. Like I said, 15 and 16 are exactly the same thing. The first thing we have to do is we have to get that to the other side. All right. So if I add 10 to both sides, this becomes 2x squared minus 7x minus 3 equals 0. And since I can't divide all three of those by anything, we will just live with them as they are. A, B, and C. So negative b plus or minus square root of b squared. Pause the video, see if you can fill it out correctly first, and then come back. So negative b, so negative 7 is positive 7 plus or minus the square root of b squared. 7 squared is 49 minus 4 times a, which is 2, times c, which is negative 3. All divided by 2 times a, which is 2 times 2, that's 4. All right. And from here, same process. Multiply out the radical, reduce it from there, and just reduce and reduce until you can't anymore. So in this case, if I do 49 minus 4 times 2 times negative 3, I get 73, so 7 plus or minus the square root of 73 divided by 24. So in this case, yeah, there are no perfect squares that go into 73. So, bump, you're done. You can't reduce that at all. Your coefficients out front, the numbers in front can't be divided by the same thing, so we're good to go. All right, last but not least, if you want to pause and try 16 on your own, go for it. But otherwise, here we go. Start off. Move the 1 to the other side. So we've got 4x squared plus 4x minus 9 equals 0. Negative b plus or minus. So negative, let's label these real quick. A, B, and C. So b is 4, so flip the sign. Negative 4 plus or minus the square root of b squared. B is 4. 4 times 4 is 16. Minus 4 times your a value, which is 4, times your c value, which is negative 9, all over 2 times a. So 2 times 4, which is 8. I almost wrote 16, which y'all would have loved me for that. Negative 4 plus or minus the square root of 16 minus 4. In this case, you add up everything under the radical, it gets to 160 over 8. And I'm pretty sure that's divisible by something. Not divisible by 121. This again. Just go over here and start plugging it out. 160. I'd start with 81 because 100 is too big. That doesn't work. Divided by 64. That doesn't work. Divided by 49. I guarantee you that doesn't work. Divided by 36. That doesn't work. 25. Hopefully you can tell really quick that doesn't work. Divided by 16. And that's 10. So the square root of 160 reduces down to 16 times 16 times 10, which is 4 in the square root of 10. Alright, so we've got negative 4 plus or minus 4 on the square root of 10 divided by 8. Alright, so since it's got a radical, we're not going to do it twice, but we do need to reduce. So the numbers out front, we can divide them all by 4. So 4 divided by 4 is 1, so that's negative 1. Plus or minus 4 divided by 4 is, again, 1, so just the square root of 10. And 8 divided by 4 is 2. So that is your final reduced answer. If I were you, I would go back and try all of these again. If you need the work, just cover up your answers, try it on a separate sheet of paper, and see what you can do.